morning, Liz. Welcome back, everybody. Careers and Coffee, episode number 644.
Oh, right. Good morning.
Good morning. This is not episode number 644. Probably, I have no idea where we're at. Probably in the 30s, but
yeah.
Hey, we're doing good. We're still rolling. So I think we're almost a year into this.
Yeah, that flew by.
That was a quick year, right? Cool. Well, let's dive right into our topic for today. So we wanted to talk today about what it means to be job curious. And this is actually something that came up because we're hosting a career fair.
What? We are?
We're hosting a career fair. What do you know? Corridor Careers. Way to go. Yeah, April 28th, Cedar Rapids Public Library from 3 to 6 p.m. We already have like 15 employers signed up, and we're going to be heading towards well over 30, hopefully. So good news on that front.
Yeah, we hope this will be the most accessible career fair yet. And when we say accessible, we not just mean from like a accessibility standpoint, but from like meeting job seekers where they are standpoint. So that's what our topic is about today. We're going to talk about, are you job curious, and is there a place for you at a career fair maybe?
Yeah. And I think when you think about a job seeker, there's probably two different kinds, right? You have somebody that's 100% looking for a job right now. They are checking the job boards every day, or at least every, few days to see what new is out there. But then you have somebody that's just maybe curious, or more of like what we would call a passive job seeker, right? Somebody who's open to exploring new opportunities, but not looking every day. And so that's what we want to talk about today. So Liz, if I had to ask you, like, what are some things that a job curious job seeker should be looking for? Like, what would you think those are?
Well, I think it's just opening your mind to the possibilities of a new opportunity. So you maybe have been working in your position for some time, so it's a good chance to kind of evaluate, is this job still right for me? Is the career path still right for me? Just take a pulse on your level of comfort with your current role. And then, you could do simple things like just get on LinkedIn and take a look at and see what some of your colleagues or just friends are doing. And if there's any job moves that they're going through, maybe talk to them a little bit about their job move and how the experience was for them. So you can kind of just help yourself set your mind at ease with the potential of looking. And then if the right opportunity does come your way, then you'd be kind of ready for that to happen.
Yeah, I really like that point to, talk to friends, talk to other people that have just gone through this maybe, and see what the experience is like. Especially right now, it really is a job seekers market. There's a lot of jobs open. Companies are, I don't want to say scrambling, but somewhat, like, to find quality employees. So yeah, that's a really good point. I found an article on Forbes.com that talks about this. It talks, and the title is "Never Ever Take a Job Unless It Passes This Test." But it's got some really good questions on it that I wanted to review, and we'll drop this in the show notes. So just some things to consider when you are thinking about looking or taking a new job. So here are some of the questions. Will I learn something new in this job that I don't know already? What are the working hours for this job? What are the opportunities for advancement in this new job? Who is my manager at the new job? What will the working day be like? So I thought this was a really good article. How did the company treat me during the recruiting process? Like, all really like kind of different things to think about, rather than what's the job title and how much am I making?
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot better in depth, because you don't want to go through the hassle of making a job move and then find out a weekend that it's not right for you.
Right.
That's so much stress. So it's already stressful enough to go through a job search process or a job change. It can be pretty disruptive. So that checklist mentality is really helpful, especially if you were maybe evaluating multiple offers, which would be awesome, right? Like if you had three great offers to consider,
Mm.
and if you do have at least one offer, you should definitely try to see if there's another similar role out there where you could compare,
Mm.
just like you would comparison shop, a big purchase. This is a major change in your life potentially. So
Right.
having some comparison shopping tools out there, and that the checklist is a great idea. So we'll throw that in the show notes so you can add that to your list of to-dos if you're interested in maybe exploring.
If you're job curious. Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to like, what are those must-haves, right? Like, what are those? I mean, you're not going to have the whole enchilada, right? Like,
Yeah.
if working for a company that you really care about that's making an impact is more important than, say, money or like your working hours. I just feel like there's certain things that you have to decide that are most important to you, and try to align those with the company that you go work for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes it's evaluating what kind of culture it is at the job, but there's no one culture that's right for everyone. There are some business cultures that appeal to different kinds of people. So if you're like very regimented and you like rules, like you like knowing what the rules are and sticking to them, and not having a lot of not having to adapt every day to changing situations, then you might want to look for a company culture that's a little bit more structured. And you can kind of look in certain industries where that structure may exist. So military contract companies, any kind of IT situation might be a good fit too, because there's generally a lot of structure around those roles. But if you're open and adaptable and you like to be, you like different things each day, a mix of different things, maybe a culture that's closer to a retail environment, or something that interacts with the public on a regular basis might be better for you. Or maybe like a nonprofit. Those typically have lots of things happening all the time. So
yeah, and I think you bring up a really good point that there's maybe I feel like there's company values, right, at every company that you can usually just find on their website. It'll list out the values. Most companies have like 5, and they usually kind of make like an acronym out of it. But then, yeah, within each company, there's obviously all these different jobs, right? And so blending your personality traits to the job that you're going after is super important. So
yeah, there's that train.
There's that train. Yeah, can you hear it?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that brings up a
downtown
good
Cedar
point.
Rapids.
So you're in the office, I'm working from home. Working from home is a big, huge thing that's come up, and people who've been working in an office, maybe curious about work from home situations. If they didn't get a chance to do that during the pandemic, they might be very interested in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for me, and I really appreciate our company's culture and the fact that we have this flexibility, right? Like you can work from the office, you can work from home. I do most both days right now. So that's just kind of something that I've chosen to do. So all right, anything else before we sign off?
Nope. So let's just say I'm job curious and I want to see what's out there. So I guess my first steps are going to be kind of look internal, like what am I looking for? Or what am I dissatisfied with? And so start with the easy, those are easier to figure out, right? Than what you want is what you don't want. So when you determine what you don't like with your current role, maybe try to look for the opportunity there. So is there something that would be more satisfying? So identify that. And then you can start to circle around maybe some friends that have gone through transitions in the last 2 years and see how their experience was, if they had any pointers for you. And also networking. Do they know about any opportunities that might fit your skill set? You tell them you're not necessarily meaning to change right now, but you might be interested sometime this year. It'd be interesting to see what would happen there if you put it out to the world that you might be interested in a change. And then, yeah, develop some kind of checklist. So if you were going to decide whether to apply or whether to, say yes to a company, what would the criteria be for you? And that way you can cleanly evaluate those opportunities as they come your way.
Love it. All right, Liz.
See you next time, guys.